Tsugi ni omae wa hey guys what's up toyu. Hey guys what's up. Bakana. It's the culture detective here investigating your favorite animes, and today I'm going to be doing a review on JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Again, the anime, Season 2A, or in the manga, Part 3A, the first half of Part 3, Stardust Crusaders, Episode 1 to 24. So let me recap the first two parts. Jonathan Joestar was from a rich family and Dio was from a poor family. After Jonathan's dad and Dio's dad met, Dio wanted to infiltrate the Joestar family and shame Jonathan and become rich. He found a stone mask that has spikes coming out of it, and he realized that it could turn yourself into a super strong immortal vampire. So he did. Meanwhile, Jonathan learned Hamon, which is like magic controlled by breathing and blood flow and whatever. So Jonathan and Dio fought, and that's basically part one, Phantom Blood. Then, but part one is only the intro, as we have part two, Battle Tendency, which is 3 times as long. Jonathan's grandson Joseph had to fight against 4 pillar men from 2,000 years ago, who created the stone mask and turned to stone themselves until they woke up again and tried to find the red stone and become the ultimate life form. But of course, Joseph won, and then later on, his daughter married a Japanese man whose son is Jotaro Kujo, and he's the main character of Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. So, after watching the first 2 episodes, I was a little underwhelmed because Jotaro Kujo is a way more boring character than Joseph. Yeah. Joseph was funny and smart as hell, but Jotaro is a stone-faced edgelord that's borderline emotionless and flat. But luckily, old Joseph is still around. We also have characters like Abdul from Egypt, not Avdol. A lot of people call him Avdol, but it's actually Abdul. Why would a guy in an anime called Avdol? That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, and Kakoin and Polnareff, who were both sent by Dio to kill Jotaro but failed, then became good guys. Yes, Dio's alive the whole time and wanted to dominate the world and kill the Joestars all over again. Another problem I have with this season is that the OP is just not that good. The song is not as catchy as parts 1 or 2, and the animation isn't as epic as part 1. The animation of the OP feels kind of generic in comparison with the bold and cinematic part 1 OP, and also the pacing of the story is way slower in this part. So many detours and side characters. They found out that Dio was in Egypt, and they spent half the entire part 3 just reaching there. But there are also a few things I like. I like the newly introduced concepts of stands, which is basically a little sidekick spirit that have superpowers that some people possesses. Jotaro's stand is a super strong and fast metallic man called Star Platinum, a little overpowered in my opinion. Abdul's stand is a fire-breathing bird, Magician's Red. Polnareff's stand is a swordsman, Silver Chariot. Kyakoyin's stand is a green voodoo snake thing called a Hierophant Green, and Joseph's stand is thorns coming out of his hand, making spirit photos and audios. And his stand name is Hermit Purple, and that's a very lame stand, but that just made me appreciate Joseph Joestar's character even more. So Holly, Joseph's daughter and Jotaro's mom, the same person, was cursed by Dio because she also manifested a stand after Dio woke up again, but Holly's body wasn't strong enough, so the Crusaders had to find Dio and kill him, and along the way Dio sent about 11 or 12 skilled stand users to assassinate them. Another thing I like about Part 3A is that it is an around-the-world story. They had to go from Japan to Egypt, then they stopped at places like Hong Kong, right outside, and Singapore, giving the story even more flavor than the Mexico and Italy and Switzerland of Part 2. I was surprised that Hong Kong was one of the locations, and I'm happy about it, even though it's still stereotypical Hong Kong, but I'm happy about it. Next page. And along the way to Egypt, they also encountered a disgusting bug stand on a plane and an underwater monster stand in the sea, which are both Not very memorable episodes. For episodes 7 and 8 though, it's getting good. These episodes basically became horror episodes as we have a spooky ghost ship with a pedophile orangutan killer and Chucky the killer doll. Yes, but JoJo version, of course. What I love about these stands is that they can be super creative. On episode 9, the stand is basically yellow goo and on episode 13, the stand is basically a car. But honestly, both episodes 9 and 13 aren't really all that great or anything, in my opinion. But I was really hooked from episodes 10 to 12 because of the Hanged Man. Certainly one of the best JoJo side villains. Just his character portrayal is fantastic. His stand user has 2 right hands, and his stand only attacks via mirror images, via reflections. That's friggin' cool. And the way he's defeated is extremely clever. I also enjoyed episode 12 a lot because finally, some screen time for Joseph Joestar, who uses his intelligence against his enemy once again and predicts the enemy's next line once again. The stand on episode 12 is basically a growing tumor attached onto a body called the Empress. It's gross, but it's entertaining. I also really friggin' enjoyed episodes 12 to 15 where the Crusaders encountered one of the most powerful stands so far, Justice. Basically a gigantic wave of fog about the size of a whole town, which can kill you even if you have a small wound. It's just gonna suck all the blood from your body. Again, the way these clever and horrifying stands are defeated are incredibly intelligent and creative. For Justice, more creative than it is intelligent. And then we have episodes 16 to 17, Lovers, where we meet Steely Dan. Yes, his name is Steely Dan. And his stand is a weak, small, duplicating thing that goes into people's brains and eat them inside out. Hot take here, but the Steely Dan episodes aren't really all that great. And the next episode, Sun, might be my least favorite episode on the entire first half of part 3. Easily the most anticlimactic episode. I do like that the stand is a gigantic ball of fire, basically the sun, and that's super hot. But the ending just makes Joseph Joestar look like a total idiot because he's the only person who didn't figure out the enemy's weakness. Which is strange because Joseph is supposed to be the smartest of the bunch. And if you're saying that he's gotten rusty and old, just look at the Empress episode. A few episodes ago, he's damn smart on that episode. So if he's smart on that episode, why is he so dumb here? And there are a few strange questions like when the other 3 found out about the weakness of the enemy stand, why didn't they do anything? Yeah, it's a pretty nonsensical episode. I wish I could find it funny, but it's just not that funny for me. Anyways, they moved from Kolkata, India to Varanasi, India to Karachi, Pakistan. They crossed the sea to Dubai, UAE, and then they were in the middle of Saudi Arabia when 2 amazing episodes of JoJo I've seen so far happened. A stand that is even more powerful, even scarier. A stand that only appears when you're asleep and you're dreaming and you're powerless and you can't call your stand. And worst of all, if you've awakened from the dream, you'll certainly forget about it, which means you'll forget about the stand of the dream and you'll fall asleep again and might get killed again. And yeah, the stand is quite clever. I just love that they're encountering stands this smart and that they have to outsmart the stand in order to win. And basically, Kyakoin became the Joseph Joestar of part 3 and was super smart and awesome. The last 4 episodes of the first half of the part aren't as memorable, admittedly. I still think stands like Justice and Death 13 are way scarier and way smarter than Judgement and High Priestess. Also, the Hanged Man. But still, these episodes aren't that bad. They're still decent. For the former, we have Judgement disguised as the genie in Aladdin, telling Polnareff that he could grant him 3 wishes. It doesn't have a very exciting first half, but the plot twist at the next episode was pretty sweet, pretty cool, with a hilarious payoff. Then we have the High Priestess, who is scarier but not as smart. Basically, the stand can transform into anything metallic or glass or stone, and there was a Jonah and the whale moment that's pretty cool. I just wish that we could see more of Middler, the stand user, the woman who's, controlling the stand High Priestess, because I heard she's kind of hot. We also see a bit of Susie, Q, and Holly at the end. Also a bit of Dio. They arrived at Egypt, sat on a dune buggy, and that's the end of the first half of part 3 of Stardust Crusaders. So, yeah, overall, I think a bulk of the episodes in the first 24 episodes of season 2 are good at the very least. The pacing is slower, the story is not as tight. The characters are alright though, since Jotaro isn't really the only one main character, so him being flat and boring isn't really a huge problem or anything. The animation is really cool. I love the fashion designs. I guess one of my gripes is that the stand defeat stats are uneven. I'm gonna put a table on the screen here to show you the stats. Jotaro has 8 wins with 1 assist, while Joseph only has 1 win. Yeah. So much for my favorite JoJo. Also, there's a very obvious pattern in almost each episode of the season, which isn't really a bad thing, but still, I wish there could be a bit of a change up for the pace here. But I love the idea of going around the world, but apparently the language barrier is not a problem, which is, I guess, isn't exactly a complaint because it would have been really annoying if this series had like 8 languages. There are a couple of dud episodes, but it's still pretty solid overall. I'm feeling a decent to strong 7 out of 10. And I'm gonna say my favorite episodes and my least favorites here. My least favorite is definitely the Sun episode. My favorite episode here is either the Hanged Man episodes or the Death 13 episodes. So, have you watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Season 3, Part 3A, or Season 2A? Have you read the manga? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. Yay! Also, I may stop watching JoJo's for a while because I have to study for my exams. I need to get serious now. But I will still probably do a review of True Detective Season 1 very soon. And if I have time, maybe 13 Reasons Why Season 3. Ha ha ha! Thanks for watching.